Hey, welcome back to Fresh Gaming News. So today, Yuzu, the emulator for the Nintendo Switch, has been shut down due to a settlement with the company that makes the emulator, Yuzu, deciding to settle out of court with Nintendo because they didn't want to pay any legal fees, I guess. Well, they kind of did pay legal fees because, well, you needed a lawyer to do this in the first place, so that costs legal fees. But, so they have decided to not only shut Yuzu down, but they've also shut down Citra, which isn't really much because they weren't even working on Citra really to begin with, and it has mostly been an open source project for the last 2 years. But yeah, they ended up paying about $2 million in damages, which is a weird number because it's like they really said like Breath of the Wild cost $1 million in million sales, but that's $2 million and not a million sales for Zelda. So like Nintendo really like fucking around with the money there. But it kind of sucks this is happening. Obviously, it doesn't suck that much because Yuzu is already like Yuzu is only one emulator on the Switch. We still have Ryujinx, we still have other emulators, and they could easily come back in another form. And people could just take the open source version of Yuzu and like build on it and call it another emulator. But like the fact is, this is not a good situation for emulation in general. Like they could have fought it and won, but they decided it would be easier to just settle out of court because the fact is, it's just too much money and they can't afford it. A lot of people have been saying though that the reason they wouldn't have won is because they were charging Patreon fees, which is not true at all. Just because they were paying money to get the emulator doesn't make it any less legal to what they were doing. It has nothing to do with it. Like, sure, Nintendo was more interested with that, but that has nothing to do with why Nintendo has decided to take them to court. Like, they could take anyone to court and win if they wanted to. Like, them making money off it is not going to make Nintendo be like, oh, now I'm going to take you to court. Because other emulators have made money off, like, doing it. Ryujinx has a Patreon, for example, so that's not the reason. And them having early access behind closed doors on the Patreon, that's not a reason either. That's just stupid. Like, that has nothing to do with why Nintendo went after them. Nintendo went after them primarily because they saw, like, how Tears of the Kingdom was being played early on it, and they realized, hey, that's not good for us. We're gonna take them down. So yeah. So yeah, obviously the main reason is the fact that how promoted Yuzu was as an emulator. That's probably the big reason why Nintendo got wind of it. So yeah, if you want to talk about your favorite emulator, don't blabber on about it to Nintendo, because the more you say something, the more people, the old fucks at the Nintendo headquarters, will see it, and then they'll decide to go after your favorite emulator, regardless of if it's legal or not, because obviously today showed that regardless, they could still win, which is complete bullshit, but that's how law works. But anyway, that's going to do it for Fresh Gaming News. I'll see you guys next time. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye-bye.